So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Matt, and I'm a partner manager at Google, and I've been at the company now for just over 8 years. But all the while, I've actually been working in our South Africa operations. And when I was asked to come present today, I started to reflect on sort of the different type of experiences that I had within the retail sector. And I tried to, immediately my mind was kind of drawn back to my 2016 phase, where my job at the time was to help prepare our advertising ecosystem for the launch of Google Shopping. And quite literally, I worked with a number of different merchants, both big and small. And since then, the growth in e-commerce in South Africa has been something that's just been booming. And from a personal perspective, it's been quite humbling to see the amount of customers and the amount of people that have found so much success on our platforms as a whole. So I started to consider, well, that's the past. So the things that I should talk about today is what's going to be happening in the future. So to give you a bit of a snippet, we recently had our developer conference, I/O, just last month, where our senior product leads announced a new product called Scene Exploration. And Scene Exploration is really going to help sort of with the online and offline world and bring about more convergence in the space. So if you're like me and you navigate the aisles in your local grocery shops, and you probably get a little bit overwhelmed when you get to maybe the coffee aisle and all the different options that are out there, we're quite literally going to be able to take out our phones, pan through that world around us, and in real time, things like product reviews, prices, different elements of the real world are going to be surfaced to us in real time. And this, for me, is going to be a complete game changer, because I really go over these elements in detail, and I really like to know the things that I'm wanting to get. I tend to like the things that are cheap and cheerful. I tend to like the things that have great reviews, and I also don't like the things that have flavors. And you'll be able to have a control F for the real world around you. So this is a bit of a taste in terms of what's coming from Google, and this is going to be integrated into the search experience. But then I started to think, well, what's happening now? To understand retail and the trajectory that we're going to go onto, we really need to reflect and think about how shoppers have settled into a brand new normal. And really, there's no going back. And just to describe this space in a little bit more detail, more people are shopping online than ever. Over the last year, in 2021, we saw an increase in overall e-commerce sales in the shopping period, in the holiday period, by over 61% versus the previous 2 years. But all this growth in the industry has also presented new problems. Differentiation is becoming ever more important. 80% of shoppers will choose a personalized experience when they're thinking of the retailer that they're wanting to buy from. And when we think of all those different touch points that are out there, making a choice is becoming more and more part of that problem statement. And looking at all the different interactions that we have it from a digital perspective, those things are growing more and more. Today, we're even noting on some shopping journeys that there are over 500 plus digital touch points before a purchase. So these are the problems that we're thinking about and the ways that we're thinking about how to approach this space. But we note that businesses need to be really agile and responsive in the way that they approach the space, and Google is here to help. So today, I'm going to help unpack our 3 core strategic pillars that we're going to be helping merchants be successful in the space. The first thing is that we're going to help our retailers improve their profitability with new technology and drawing in on advanced insights. And the second thing is that we're going to help amplify your differentiated offerings across all of our digital touchpoints. And the third thing is that we're going to help you connect with our consumers all along their consumer journey. And to start with improving our retail profitability, we've recently launched a new campaign which is going to do away with the guesswork in regards to attribution and multi-campaign management. And we're packaging all our different retail touchpoints in a singular buying window called Performance Max. And with Performance Max, you'll be able to engage with all your customers in the ways that they engage with us across all our different touchpoints, but you'll also be able to focus on driving advanced business objectives. So if you're turning to us to help with your sales, we can help you do that both on an online perspective as well as offline perspective with the advanced measurement methodologies that we're bringing in. We can also help you with things like your store goals to drive visibility within your local proximity of where all your users might be. The second thing is that we're going to help amplify your offerings to help drive demand. Now, we know that differentiation is key to driving success. And today, 61% of global shoppers will shop around in multiple websites before deciding on whom to buy and what to buy in this space. And to help differentiate your offerings and your brands across all our different touch points that we have, we're going to help you do that through one singular feed that will scale through all the different digital touch points that we have across Google. And to give you some sort of snippets of what's to come, I'm going to focus on a few things that are going to be coming and cascading down to South Africa in the very near future. And the first thing in light of this, we know that price is completely top of mind with consumers. And in the US, for example, shoppers will often wait up to 2 weeks in areas of peak shopping demand to find really great deals. And with this in mind, we're going to help merchants promote their different product and price offerings through the launch of a deals module within the shopping tab on Google Shopping. And if you're like me, I'm really looking forward to the different things that we can get in Black Friday, and this is really going to help with my shopping habits. The other thing is that we also know loyalty programs are key to retailers' success. In top loyalty programs in the US, we note that shoppers tend to buy 2 times more items from loyalty programs that they are part of, and that we also know that in general, they are 76% more likely to buy from a retailer that they're already part of a loyalty program. So with this in mind, we're going to help bring loyalty programs to our shopping surfaces across Google, both on the paid and the organic side, and we're hoping to cascade this in the very near future to come. And the last thing is that we're going to help you connect with your consumers and engage with them in the ways that they want to engage with the most. Now, we've spoken a little bit around how video plays a big part of this role, and we know that video significantly influences the path to purchase, with 70% of YouTube viewers in the US saying they actually bought a brand as a result of seeing it on YouTube. And with that, more than 2% of those people are more likely to go online to buy something as a result of seeing them on YouTube versus the competitive average. And just to share a bit of a personal anecdote and a bit of a story on this side, I was recently back home in South Africa in February, and when I go home, I generally share some notes with my dad and tell him about the different types of YouTube creators that I usually watch. One of them I really enjoy, his name is Lou, and he runs a channel called Unbox Therapy. And when we watched a video of Lou, he kind of showed a new mobile phone case that he had on offer. And my dad pulled out his phone and felt a bit sorry for himself because his phone case was a bit out of order. So I fell for the trap and made sure I bought one for him. But what I found fascinating during this journey is that while we were sitting on the couch, I hadn't planned to buy this thing. We saw this video, and 5 minutes later, I had placed an order. And 2.5 days later, we watched this order go from Canada to the US, from the US to Dubai, Dubai to Durban, and Durban to Pietermaritzburg within 2.5 days. So I just thought, wow, what a global world we're in, and how much is video influencing us in our day-to-day world. And I think if everyone thinks about the different touch points and relationship that you might have with YouTube, many of these instances probably resonate with yourself. Now, we're going to start partnering with creators on an ever more scale. So this year, we're going to start partnering with our top creators in the US, and we're hoping to pan this out on a more global scale in the short term. But we're going to start bringing shoppable experiences to our video-on-demand content, as well as our YouTube short content. And even if retailers don't necessarily have videos, we're also going to allow them to partner with content creators to have personalized shopping experiences that are going to serve alongside their feeds, alongside their YouTube content. So just to summarize what we have in mind for our vision in the future, the first thing is that we're anchoring on retailer profitability, and we're focusing on making sure that we can bring a single unified experience to this space with the launch of Performance Max campaigns. The second thing is we're going to help you drive differentiated demand across all our different platforms. And we're going to launch things like, for example, loyalty programs, deals, and also things like local inventory ads that were spoken about just a bit earlier. And last but not least, we know how YouTube is going to be a big part of this phase in the future, and we're going to start partnering with content creators to start giving you much more personalized experiences across our different ecosystem. Thank you.